Mr. President, there are questions regarding Sergeant Bergdahl's disappearance and whether or not military code was violated. These are issues that will be resolved by the United States Army, not Monday morning quarterbacks on Capitol Hill.
That was Majority Leader Harry Reid speaking this morning on the Senate floor about Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. And specifically, he was addressing the question of whether he deserted his unit before he was captured by the Taliban in June of 2009. Now, desertion is a very particular, very delicate charge. And to prove it, that Bergdahl was guilty of desertion, it's not just a rhetorical matter, but also under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It would require proving intent. And several hours ago, the Army's Chief of Staff, General Raymond Odierno, reinforced that an important point that's true regardless of how you feel about Sergeant Bergdahl's conduct. Quote, "It was always a high priority that every soldier deployed in Afghanistan would return home. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind. Now that Sergeant Bergdahl is back and under our control, first and foremost, we must ensure his health is taken care of and he is properly reintegrated. At the appropriate time, we will conduct a thorough, transparent, and complete review of the circumstances surrounding his capture." Colonel Jack Jacobs is an MSNBC military analyst and a Medal of Honor recipient. So first of all, Colonel, getting that out of the way, that is really sort of the way it works, right? I mean, this is somebody who has been a POW, but who is also being accused of his comrades of desertion. But as a military matter, the first thing they're going to do is get him healthy, get him reintegrated, and then deal with the legal part.
Yeah, because among other things, he's not going to be able to, if he is going to get charged, he's not going to be able to assist in his defense unless he's healthy. So they'll do that first as a priority in any case, whether he's going to be investigated or not.
I want to play you some of one of his colleagues, Joshua Cornelison, I believe you pronounce it. He was on News Nation earlier today. He was the Army medic who served with Bo Bergdahl. This is what he had to say earlier today.
He absolutely 100% deserted his post without any shadow of a doubt. He intentionally left his duty station in our OP.
And the Associated Press has quoted a Pentagon source who's actually looked at the 2010 report on what's called the Article 15.6 investigation. You can tell us what that is. And that report said that a Pentagon investigation concluded in 2010 that the evidence was incontrovertible that Bo Bergdahl walked away from his unit. Are the accusations of his colleagues and that report enough in and of themselves to prove desertion?
It's enough to cause his commander to conduct the next level of investigation. He would be charged after that. And then they would have what is called an Article 32 investigation, which is the military equivalent of a grand jury procedure, except that in this particular case, in the case of an Article 32 investigation, the accused has the right to counsel, the right to cross-examine witnesses. It's not like a grand jury procedure in civilian life where, you know, one second you're okay, next second you're indicted. The accused participates actively in the investigatory process. Once that's done, the officer who is appointed to conduct the investigation then makes a recommendation to the commander and says, nothing here. There is something here, and we recommend you do this. There's a lot here. We recommend you have a court-martial. Yeah. And then the commander can decide by himself what he wants to do, being a court-martial or not.
And what do they have to prove to take it from AWOL to desertion?
Well, if you're back in the States and you're not in a deployment zone, which he was not, he was deployed. If you go absent without leave, you have to show intent to be a deserter. And in the States, you show intent by being absent for more than 30 days. It's presumed if you're gone for more than 30 days, you intend to stay away. But in a deployment zone, it's not at that level of proof. Especially in the case in which there's some evidence, at least, to indicate that you had intended to stay away. You don't have to be gone for 30 days.
Right.
And if you're gone for 30 days, it doesn't have to be because somebody captured you.
Yeah.
The fact that you wandered off is enough.
And can you initially have the intent to stay away, but then get captured and sort of intent? Can it change? I mean, is it really
it can.
that? Yeah.
But that's not going to help you a whole lot. I mean, it may help you a little bit, but it's not going to help. Intent is really, really important in this regard. And one of the things the investigation will determine was what his intent was when he left. There's plenty of evidence, as you heard, to indicate that he really intended to stay away.
Yeah.
But it remains to be seen. And it'll be done, as General Odierno says, in a very open way. There'll be plenty of news coming down the pike after he's charged.
Due process, what a concept. Thank you for being here, Colonel Jack Jacobs. Appreciate you being here to clarify these issues for us.
You're very welcome.
All right, thank you. And a read alert now on some scary